We are, in fact, between two drones right now.
Yes, sir, we are.
We are.
Absolutely. Two beautiful drones at that.
Yeah, yeah. And some very interesting news that we got yesterday, and it is about DJI and DJI's ban.
FCC is on top of it, it looks like. Looks like they've gone retroactive, or they're going to go retroactive, and ban the DJI products in any of their shell companies, evidently.
Yeah, so what does that mean? I mean, everyone's been talking about a potential DJI ban coming December 23rd of this year, 2025. But this kind of changes things. So the DJI ban was going to be through the FCC, which is our communications committee that allows basically any device that can transmit a signal, they allow it to do so.
They control it, right.
And you have to get FCC compliance to sell a drone in the United States legally and use it legally. So after December 23rd, 2025, if a independent U.S. security company wasn't able to audit DJI for security risks, they were going to be automatically put on.
And they've had since the beginning of the year to do that. So since January 1st was when it
January
started.
1st.
So they're all the way here, and we've got, what, 2 months left?
Yeah, it's not looking great. But yeah, after December 23rd, they're going to be put on the FCC covered list, which means they will no longer be authorized to have any new FCC authorizations, which means any new product after December 23rd will not be authorized from DJI. So
That's interesting. I know that there's several DJI shell companies that are operating and selling DJI drones. Evidently, any drone that has a remote that has a DJI stamp on it all fall into those categories.
Yeah, I've heard that they're going to be looking into specifically like the systems that are used within the remote, not just the brand. So we'll see how that goes. That could take a long time. I don't know, but the bigger news is this retroactive power, which means they can potentially go and retroactively remove the authorization from previous.
Which would then make it illegal to import them into the United States, period, right?
Well, no, it would actually make them illegal to use.
Oh, wow.
Not just to import. So if you own a DJI camera drone like you see in this picture, it could be illegal to operate.
Interesting.
And that's a big deal because obviously in our market with ag, we have very expensive tools that we operate. And it would mean that basically all the DJI drones, and I believe it could retroactively go back 1 year. So it is, it's going to be tricky.
Sure.
You know, I think the T40s and 50s are still within that time, but anything after that could be
banned.
Could be retroactively removed. Now, is that going to prevent the drone from actually taking off and flying? No. But it does make it technically...
It's a gray area for sure.
Well, it's
illegal.
Technically illegal to use. You're transmitting a signal that is not authorized. So that's a big deal. I'm really interested to see what's going to happen after December. And
I think we've got some good opportunities here, though. Obviously, with the two drones that we're sitting here in between, the Vector HD 580 is a phenomenal platform.
Yeah, absolutely. And I should emphasize, currently this FCC ban is specifically to DJI and a couple other Chinese brands as well.
That's super important to recognize, actually.
It's not a Chinese drone ban.
Correct.
So that's something important to remember. It's now, does that mean that could happen to other brands? We don't know. We don't know. We have no idea, but that's why we're investing heavily into other options. But yeah, like you said, the HD 580s, I mean, this is about as close as you can get to a DJI replacement.
Absolutely.
That you can legally operate and really no issues with.
And software is very similar. Connectivity is very similar.
Yeah.
It's not a DJI drone.
I say it's heavily influenced by, right?
Absolutely.
It's different than your typical DJI stuff. I'll go here.
Oh, there we go.
There it is. So a little bit larger than your
any of the T50s or T40s, much larger.
It's closer to a T100.
Sure. It's an 18.5 gallon capacity.
18.5 gallons, and I know people are going to say, well, T100 is much bigger. Yes, it is, but it can't output 2 gallons per acre with a full tank. So
Correct.
you're really limited to about 20 gallons at 2 gallons per acre on a T100. So it's about the same size, and there's some other limitations on the T100 too that we're learning about, which are the...
Well, and you're going to have to reduce your payload on the T100.
T100, yeah, but also the speed. The T100 actually can't fly full speed below a certain height. Did you know that?
I didn't know that at all.
So if you fly its maximum speed, which is technically a little faster than we can go with the HD 580, you're limited in your altitude. So you can't fly below a certain height at its maximum speed. If you fly below a certain height, I don't remember the numbers offhand,
Gotcha.
You have to reduce the speed as well.
And the HD 580 does not operate like
No,
that.
no.
So it has full capacity, full ability to do that without a problem.
That's right.
And the package that the HD 580, it's roughly, it comes with 3 batteries, charger, spray system, the drone, and the remote, obviously. It's a great package. That's kind of the starter package. We think, depending on what types of fields you're doing, you may want to upgrade to another battery or possibly another charger. But thus far, it's been here 6 months. We've had rave reviews.
Yeah, let's talk about our 6-month update.
Yeah, absolutely. The 6-month update.
This is really, I can't believe it's only been 6 months. I feel like we've had this system around forever.
Yep, End Users Conference last year is when we unveiled it.
Unveiled it. That's
went,
right.
Fantastic then, and got it out in the market. People are loving it.
And we have quite a few of these on the market now, and they've really been proven to be a really solid machine. Like any new product, of course, you're going to find issues, and
Absolutely.
This is no exception. We did find some things that needed attention on these drones.
And we were lucky enough to have Vector here in the United States working directly with us.
Yeah.
The prop clamps, some of the small things that they immediately addressed.
Right.
Fantastic company. The software they immediately addressed.
And not just addressed on future models, right?
Right, absolutely.
Retroactively updated all the drones that we already had on the market. And I think that's really one of the things that sets it apart compared to everybody else.
But I also think that sets us apart as a company. We were willing to make sure that those people got taken care of.
That's right.
The customer service is, second to none. And people need to know that we're here to support them. We're not just dropping a drone off at their house and saying good luck.
That's right.
If there's an issue with it, we make sure they get taken care of.
And since, updating these drones to the stronger arms and the updated propeller styles,